Okay, welcome back to the second session today. So we have this pre-order traversal, right? So according to our logic, let's go beyond. So according to the story, our king is an imaginative one. Okay, so our king is an imaginative one, and he is not part of our code. The part of our code is the kingdom itself. The kingdom is what we consider as the root, not the king itself. So let us do the same process of understanding again, and we will write down the pre-order. So that means what are the things that are conquered. So again, we will just revise it once again. Then we will again go to code, and if you have any doubts, you can ask. So we do all pre-order, in-order, and post-order for the tree which I constructed now. So what is the principle of pre-order? Tell me, what is the principle of pre-order? Which flank
Root,
should first taken?
root
And
left, right.
yes, root. So raise the flag, left, conquer the left one, and right. Okay. Now let's take into consideration. So our king started to think that he is great. So naturally he is raising the flag here. Raising the flag in the sense it gets printed first. So 100 will be printed. The next thing that he will do is he will create a clone of himself and asks this clone to invade the left side. Still he is not going to the right. Okay. So this clone will now come to this one. So our root, that means our kingdom is 99. The king is an imaginative process of control. So your computer control is itself the king. Okay, the control is at the earlier point and it has created a clone control going to the next node. Now the king, clone king, sees that the left side is there already. Anyway, first of all, when he invaded 99, he immediately raises the flag here. This is my kingdom. And this is the reason why we can say that 99 can be printed here. And this clone, first of all, sends a clone to the left side. So he again creates a clone. That means using recursion, he calls the left side kingdom. So that means this clone will appear now here. So wherever they are staying, but they are just creating their clones and are sending to the next kingdom. Now after coming to this kingdom, again 50 is where the kingdom name lies. So after coming here, immediately he will raise a flag. So 50 also will be printed first. Okay, follow the same story, it will be very easy. So after this, again the clone has to first create a left clone. So this is what the left clone created, and he orders it to go. So the clone comes here. It says everything is forest and nothing is there beside that. This is the last kingdom. And by this time, of course, this is the root, and also this is the last kingdom at present we are. So we have to raise the flag here itself. So raise the flag here itself. That's all. So that means because it is the end, the recursive function goes back, the pre-order recursive function. Now we are coming here. Because we already printed and left side is also over, that means these two are over. The remaining thing is going to the right side. Okay. So now we have to go to the right side and do it. So he will create another clone which is for the right. So a right side clone will be created and asks it to go to the right side kingdoms. This clone comes here and sees that there is nothing else remaining and this is the last kingdom. Okay, so immediately he raises the flag there also. That's all. So 75 is also conquered. Now, as usual, we come back with our functions like recursion ends, right? It finally comes here. So that means you have finished printing the root that is 100 for this, and conquering the entire left has been conquered now because all the values have been printed. And then we are to go to the right. So he creates another clone for the right side and asks it to go. So when the clone king comes here, he first of all raises the flag. Okay? So raises the flag in the sense the 200 is also conquered. And now, as usual, our next step is after raising the flag, the next step is left. So he creates a clone for the left side and asks it to conquer. The clone king comes here. It's 110. So nothing is there beyond that. Both are none. So simply what he will do, he will raise a flag and ends there. So it comes back. Because now left, raising a flag and left are conquered, now the root side. So we have to now create a clone for the root, right side. So the clone comes here. And first of all, it has to raise the flag there itself. So that means printing it. We forget to write 110, right? Yeah, then afterwards 250. It's also raised. So after raising a flag, what is the next step that we have to go? Left side. So it creates a clone king that has to go to the left side. And so the clone king comes here and sees nothing is there. And hence this also will be given a rise flag. So the flag is raised and 230 is also conquered. Right? And after the left and this one are done, the last remaining thing is right, but right is none. Hence nothing is there. Our recursion goes back to this. That's the end of the program. So these are all the things that we had: 100, 99, 50, 25, 75, 200, 110, 250 and 230. This is the order of pre-order. I hope you understand. This is the order of pre. That means the root should lie in front. Now coming to post order, anyway I have shown you in the first. But let us say we will come to the in order. So I will go back with this. This is the pre-order, right? You can take a screenshot of this if you want. Okay. So I will go back with Z, Control Z, so that what are the things that I have written will be gone back. Okay. Now let's go for in order. So what is the rule for in order? What are the flanks that we have to occupy and when we have to raise the flag? Tell me.
Left root, right, sir?
Yes, the left flank should be occupied first, then raise the flag. That means print the root value, root data, and the right flank should be occupied. So immediately after occupying the left flank, you have to raise your flag and then go for invading the right flank. So now, let us see. Again, according to our story, there is a king standing here. He doesn't raise the flag, but creates a clone to invade left. So when the clone comes here in the recursive process, it sees that the left is still there, right? It doesn't put the flag here. Again, it creates a clone and sends it to invade the next kingdom. When the clone comes here, still the left is left. So it creates again a clone and tells it to invade the last 25. When 25 comes here, it sees both are none, the left side is none. Hence, this is where you have to raise your flag. So the flag will be raised. And you come back. So you send a message. Send a message in the sense that your function, recursive function is gone. It comes back to this. And because the left flank is occupied, now you can simply raise your flag. So let us write what are the flags that we have raised. First 25, next 50 flags are raised. So these kingdoms are occupied. Now the last one is right side. So we will go for creating a clone for invading the right side. So the clone comes here and sees the left is none and right is none, and hence it raises the flag. So we can go back and write 75 is also conquered. So after doing this, it goes back to 50, and because 50 the left is conquered, this indicates that left is conquered to 99. And hence the king clone who is at 99 will now raise the flag. And so 99 is also conquered. And because there is nothing else and it is none, it gives the message to the main root king, who is the main king, is not a clone, that the left flank is entirely conquered. So this fellow will raise a flag here and then creates a clone to invade the right side. Because for 100, the left is conquered and 100 has been printed, and now we have to go to the right side recursion. And our clone comes here and sees the left side one is left still. So it creates a clone to invade the left, and the clone comes here and sees the next one is none, this one is also none, and hence he raises a flag. So you can go for 110 also, and it sends back the message, or it goes back saying that it is also conquered. So immediately this has to be raised with a flag. So 200 is also conquered. Now it comes to the right side position. So another clone will be created for invading the right. So you're coming here and you have your 250. Still 250 should not be printed, right? Because we have to go to the left. So first of all, we create a left clone and send it. The left clone comes here and sees it is none and it is none. So what happens? Immediately it raises a flag here and goes back. And because the left clone is conquered, now you can directly raise a flag because we are now printing the value. And then the final thing is right side recursion. Because it is now nothing, so you give back the message to 100 that everything is finished. So all the numbers have been covered. So let's write the order in which we have conquered the kingdoms. So 230 and then 250. So after that, because of none, nothing is there. So all numbers have been printed. So we got 25, and sorry, somewhere we missed, right? Missed writing actually. After 99, it should be 100 and then 110. Yeah, that's where I'm saying. Yeah. I forgot to write 100 here after raising the flag. So 100 and then 110, 200, 230 and 250. So this is the order: 25, 50, 75, 99, 100, 110, 200, 230 and 250. So this is the in order traversal. In order in the sense, first left should be conquered at each and every subtree and in the whole tree, then print the root value, then conquer the right. That's what the in order traversal. So that is what we have written here. For in order also, we can copy the same code as we have discussed in the previous class. We just need to copy this and put it in the middle. The left, raise the flag and right. So raise the flag in the sense printing it. So instead of pre-order, we go for in order. So you can now practice it and observe how it works for every order. Carefully see it in the Python tutor, and you can ask me any doubt if you had. You can share the screen and ask me. If possible, I will pass the whole code to your WhatsApp. Do not copy it. Keep it for your help and do the code on your own based on that.
Sir, change in line number 25 and 27, sir. Pre to in.
Amma?
Line number 25 and 7, sir. 25 and 27.
25 and okay, sorry. In order. They are still with pre-order. Right. Okay, I have just sent it to your WhatsApp. You can just look into that.
Sir, what are the real-time applications of this post-order, in-order, and pre-order, sir?
The applications of post order, pre order, and in order.
Yes, sir, in order.
Yeah, see, the applications are nothing but what are the application of trees. So if you have to store some data, like most probably, so large amounts of data will be there, right? Like we talk about big data and all. So data can be arranged as this. For example, you think that in databases also your data will be stored in some part, but it's a very big application. I will cover it later because I have to talk more on that. So then you will understand. See, in order, pre-order, post-order is something like you can use it for prefix, postfix, such type of applications. Without using stack, you can do this. You can construct a tree and do that. But the major application is when some data or the real-time directories or folders or files that are arranged as a tree. To traverse the whole list of all the nodes in a tree, you can use any of this, either post-order, pre-order, in order. So because one thing, why we are talking about the three things. So as I said earlier, if you say that A plus B minus C might be having different answers, because you might say that B minus C plus A or A plus B minus C. But why we came with parenthesis? To eliminate the ambiguity. So what the standard community of algorithms have decided is some people might understand the traversal of a tree using post order. So they will get different answer. Some people will get different answer if they use pre-order type of traversal. So finally what happens, because everybody will get a different answer output, people will think that somebody is wrong. Now they have legalized it. If you can cover all the nodes of a tree, then whether it is any order, your order of traversal is correct. And we could find three types of orders, that is post order, pre order, and in order until now. So this is all because we want to traverse it. For example, you have a list of friends. What you do, how you check it actually? Let us see. So if you have a list of friends like this in your directory, generally in your diary, if you want to search for the phone numbers, you search based on the alphabets, right? For example, I can design a tree called directory, phone directory, and I can say that I have many things. Of course, we are not talking about binary trees. So this is A, B, C, D, E. So these are the nodes, these are the subtrees. And A is divided into AB subtree, then BC AC subtree, AD subtree, and so on. So B is divided into BA, BB, and so on. So and again AB is divided into. This is how the dictionary is divided, right? But how you traverse through each and everything. If you want to ask a computer to search it, you can directly go for B. But if you want all the names to be displayed of what are all the friends that are there, you can use this in order, pre-order, or post-order traversal for the computer to go through every name, come back like this, and do all and give you a list of all the names that you have in your phone directory. It's like traversing the whole tree. That's all. Have I answered your question? Hello.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can we use in order as a sorting method, sir?
Huh?
Can we use in order and as a sorting method, sir?
Yeah, one of this one is actually helping us in sorting, if you observe. So you can see here, this in order is giving everything in a ascending order. From 25 it is starting and it is ending with the last one. Yes, in order is somewhat like sorting. So if you have random values in a tree and if you want a sorted list to be presented, then you have to go for in order. And by this way you can observe this, it is giving the complete sorted list of nodes. Basically, in order, pre-order, post-order are applied, and the importance of in order to have a sorted list works in binary search tree. Don't think that it might work in any other tree, because in binary search tree there is an order like a number less than the root should be kept on the left side, a number greater than the root should be kept on the right side. That's how the order will be there. So based on the order, if you go for in order traversal, you will definitely get the list of all sorted numbers because the nodes are arranged like that. So in this case, both are important. The arrangement and reading, that is the pre-processing and post-processing, are all important in binary search tree. If I want to search a particular value, you can use any order. That's not an issue. So you can either go in pre-order or post-order or in order to find a value. For example, I told you to find whether there is a number called 110 in a tree. So you traverse the whole tree until you find out a number. So this I will give you as an assignment to you, because we know how to read each value now and print it there on the screen. The printing is not very important. Raising the flag or printing is not very important. It's important to whether we have touched all the values or not. Printing is just a reference that we have touched that value, because we don't know whether our memory has, our control has gone to that particular memory or not. So to make ourselves understand that okay, our algorithm is working fine, we started to print the values. In the sense, we are raising the flag there that we have visited it already. Okay. So if I want you to find out a particular value from a tree, then definitely you can use any order traversal. If you find it, then print it and stop there itself. Do not recurse more than that. So this can be taken as an assignment. Okay, you try out. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. We will now shut down the class. Bye bye.